in the United States that are accredited. The standards cover a wide range of administrative practices, operational and logistical issues, and is a modern management model that provides a framework for recognizing professional excellence within public safety. The goals of CALEA are several things. They're to strengthen crime prevention and control capabilities, formalize essential management procedures, establish fair and non-discriminatory personnel practices, improve service delivery, solidify interagency cooperation and coordination, and increase community and staff confidence in the agency. Many agency heads are very reluctant to have outsiders come and review their work and their administrative processes and detail any deficiencies that agencies may have. It does involve risk. It also requires the department to be open to change so that they can demonstrate that they work and conduct business in a way that meets contemporary law enforcement standards. Chief Isbell thinks otherwise, and he understands that CALEA accreditation minimizes his department's exposure to liability, it demonstrates accountability to the public, and it guarantees professional management practices. In practical terms, the chief believes it confirms their commitment to excellence in law enforcement. Based on the goals and mission of CALEA, I can think of no better time to present this accreditation certificate than at a very public meeting of the mayor and city alderman, where everyone can recognize the hard work this agency has committed toward accomplishing this goal. The certificate itself is simply a matted paper within a frame. However, it has a much broader meaning. The certificate clearly represents the agency's efforts to achieve accredited status, thereby demonstrating its willingness to change in order to effectively address contemporary public safety concerns. It represents a commitment to doing the right thing and doing it the right way. It represents adherence to a professional code. And lastly, it represents an ongoing dedication to ensuring that the agency's resources are appropriately developed, effectively deployed, and constantly managed, all in the name of a safer city for visitors and citizens alike. On July 26 through 29, 2015, two professional assessors visited the Dyersburg Police Department and reviewed the agency's applicable files, activities, functional impacts, and management strategies. The assessors determined the agency's compliance with all applicable standards. In this case, that's 364 standards. They also noted the agency's commitment to the accreditation process is clearly evident, and the commitment of staff members to the process was consistently demonstrated throughout the onsite. The assessors spoke with or received correspondence from representatives from surrounding government agencies such as the FBI and the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. They all praised the work in the department in striving for excellence and the achievement of accreditation. As well, the team spoke with members of the governing body represented here today. I'm sure some of you they spoke with when they were here. It was very clear that the support of the department was solid within the governing body. That is very important for all of us. The assessors found the agency's personnel are reflective of a professional attitude, a high sense of service to the community. At the commission meeting held in Miami, Florida on November 21, 2015, CALEA commissioners reviewed the assessor's report, concurred with their findings, and unanimously voted to accredit the agency. This is the police department's initial award for advanced law enforcement accreditation on this cycle. As you know, they were in the process before and withdrew. Like the chief said, achieving this goal within a year is phenomenal. There's a lot of work done to get back in the process, to fix the deficiencies that were found, and to get everything rolling back like it should have gone to. At this time, I would like to invite forward Chief Isbell and Sergeant Kenny Jowers to receive the certificate. And I want to note what the chief said was true. This is not done by just the chief. It's not done by an accreditation manager. It's done by the entire staff, the entire department, the entire governing body, and the citizens that are sitting behind me. If all present here did not want a professional agency that would serve their citizens the best, you wouldn't be in this process and they wouldn't have the support they need. So it's very important. I'd like to read just a little bit of this because I think it's important for what the accreditation certificate says. Be it hereby known that the Dyersburg, Tennessee Police Department, having fully demonstrated its voluntary commitment to law enforcement excellence by living up to a body of standards deemed essential to the protection of the life, health, and safety and rights of the citizens it serves, and having exemplified the best professional practices in the conduct of its responsibilities, is hereby, upon the recommendation of the members of the commission, awarded this certificate of advanced accreditation, effective on the 21st day of November 2015. This is the highest level of accreditation that we offer. So it is a great accomplishment, and it is my pleasure to congratulate the chief and the agency on behalf of Kalia, and congratulate you as well. Thank you very much. And if I might say one other personal note, and the chief knows this, in my previous life as a sworn officer before I retired and became part of Kalia, I was part of the first team that helped get your first accreditation. Bothered me very, very much when you withdrew, because I knew that the agency was up to that speed and could do it easily. The chief and his staff proved that very evident in this process, that you've got good backing, a good community, and you have a fantastic police department.
Thank you. Any questions of Vince or comments?
Thank you very much.
Vince, we appreciate you being here tonight, and Chief and others, command staff, men and women of the police department. We really appreciate your aggressive approach to getting reaccredited to Kalia. You know, obviously this board did not want to lose that accreditation, and through no fault of this board or folks here that occurred, and we all know the story of that. But obviously we're where we want to be and where we're going to stay, and I appreciate the fine work of the chief and the men and women of the department and the professionalism they exhibit, and I appreciate you coming here from Huntsville, Tennessee. I don't mean to slight you. I was still your fork over the Tennessee win, but roll tide. But thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda, new business. Public hearing beer permit, AEW Marketing LLC, doing business as Junior Mart, 1025 Harold Avenue, Dyersburg, Tennessee, 38024. Chief?
Thank you. A background investigation has been completed for an off-premise beer permit, which will allow the sale of beer at the above location, which is the Junior Mart located at 1025 Harold Avenue. If you'll recall, this permit was denied some time ago due to distance restriction in the ordinance. Since that time, this board has made a change with the ordinance, which now does not affect this business. So I see no reason to deny the applicant a beer permit, as it does fall within the current city ordinance.
Thank you. You've heard the recommendation from the chief. I entertain a motion to approve this.
So moved.
Motion from Bob Kirk. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mike Morgan. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Next item on the agenda, attorney invoice. It was attached in your packet. The attorney invoice in the amount of $6,225. Entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Motion from Mike Morgan. Is there a second?
Second.
A second from Kevin Chaney. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next item on the agenda, bids. Greg Williams. There are no bids tonight. Next item on the agenda, report from Alderman. Bob Kirk.
I don't have anything, Mayor. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Bill Eskew.
I don't have anything, Mayor.
Mr. Glover.
Yeah, I would like to say congratulations to our police department. And I was looking around the room just now, and I probably work with 90% of those policemen that officers are in here tonight. So their character makes a difference. And I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you. Kevin.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Mr. Morgan.
Mayor, I'd like to say something too about the police department. Last year in 2015, on the utility side of it, I had to call EOC several times to have them send an officer to an address. And I'd just like to say that every officer, whether it was male or female, came was very courteous, very professional, and they done the job very well. And I appreciate that. I think that's all.
Thank you. Mr. Moody.
I don't have anything.
Ms. Carolyn.
No, sir, I'm fine.
Robert.
Don't have anything.
I've got two or three things I'd like to mention. This board several months ago adopted new building codes. At that time, we told you we'd try to get the state down here to have some training classes and do some different things. We tried and tried and tried to get the state down here I'm in receipt of a couple of emails from Thomas Mullins regarding that, trying to get folks down here to have training classes with contractors and those that would be interested in this. Thomas sent me an email Thursday, December 31st, about us enforcing the residential building codes that we passed several months ago. In my opinion, we don't need to start enforcing those because we never provided the training. Also, the county's yet to adopt those codes as well. However, it's our understanding they're in the process of doing that. We've reached out to Mr. Snow at the Tennessee Fire and Codes Academy. He's been trying to provide us an instructor to teach an introduction class that we intended to offer prior to implementation. So if this board has no objections, we will delay implementation of that until we get somebody down here to have some sessions or classes.
Who would that training be aimed at? Developers or builders or?
Contractors, builders, and developers, all those.
Thank you.
Anybody have any opinion on that? You think we ought to delay it?
I think it's the right thing.
Okay, we'll do that. I sent all of you an email earlier this evening regarding this. You'll have that in your emails when you get home. Also, the flooding, just a quick word about that. Obviously, we've been monitoring the flooding situation in Dyersburg, South Dyersburg, Evansville, other parts of our community. At this time, we're looking really good in Dyersburg. The river actually crested, the Forktail River crested last week, has dropped somewhat, but we've been in constant communication with those folks that may be affected by that. And I'd like to thank all the folks that are involved with that, from the fire department, police department, EOC, Mark Grant. Some of us attended a meeting in Findlay Friday night to discuss the situation down there, and that situation has improved also. They've lowered the crest of the Mississippi River 2 or 3 times, and so we're certainly hopeful that there's not a lot of damage with the flooding down there as well. And one last thing, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Kirk. Tonight begins his 49th year of service as an elected alderman for the city of Dyersburg, and we certainly appreciate all you've done, Mr. Kirk. And with
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that.
How many
Yes, sir.
years is it?
I hope I make one more year.
we hope you do
You
too.
know, I'm for term limits. You know I'm for term limits. 50
We
years.
know you are. We've heard it often. Thank you. We're adjourned.